What's good? Welcome back to another edition of Dat Talk Podcast. I go by the name of Bacon. I got my co-host with me.
What's up, baby? Man, Mr. Too Many Reasons, man. I got a vacation to get on. So, feel me? I'm excited. You see the hat, right?
Yeah, I see the hat. That's where you about to go to LA?
Yeah, man. On my way to LA.
How long you gonna be out there in LA, man?
Till Sunday. You know, my little brother's birthday is today. Shout out to him.
Shout out to him.
To my little brother Braylon. And then Friday, Universal Studios. Saturday, my little brother's having like a little laser tag golf party at Camelot in Anaheim. And Sunday, man, bringing the kids back home because they've been gone for the last month. Because my little man's starting football come Monday. But he's a week behind, so I got to get him right.
Nice.
Got 2 a day, unfortunately.
2 a days. I love it. No, I don't love it. Let me stop lying. But anyway, man, we got some drama alert. We got some drama alert early, man. We got some drama alert with my man, Richard Sherman, man. Talk about it, man. Talk about the reason. I heard that. I heard the 911 call. I heard what was going on. Talk about it. Let the folks know.
Well, it was Richard Sherman's wife placed a 911 call. She was real distraught because her husband was acting out of character from what we've heard. I heard it got a little feisty at the house. He supposed to have got into it with her uncle. And then that transformed to when the authorities came. The authorities tried to, apprehend Richard, but didn't want to really listen to them. So he got into a little tussle with them, which then turned into them using the K9 unit to get him all, squared away. And then they took him to the hospital. Everything checked out clear. And then he was booked in the Redmond, Washington County jail. He was not given bail and won't be seeing a judge possibly today or tomorrow. His wife came out and made a statement that nobody was harmed, that this is not basically his character, and that, kind of respect, their privacy overall.
Yeah.
He kind of knows that, high profile athletes, stuff like this just doesn't go on. Yeah. That's basically the sum of what happened with Richard Sherman. My biggest thing is if anybody get a chance to listen to the call, I was real disappointed in the dispatch officer. Very extremely disappointed a bit because I just felt like she didn't do nothing to like de-escalate, to make the woman feel comfort. I feel like she was being combative with Mrs. Sherman and just was like, being dismissive to the situation. I did not respect her professionalism as a 911 dispatch call operator. If you ever get a chance to listen to the call, because I feel like she was real horrible at her job, if you want my honest opinion.
No, I hear you. I listened to the call. I think what her point of view was, she was trying to get the stuff she needed, but the way it was being presented to her, it was frustrating her. And when, some people don't deal with that language as well, and that's how I took it. I think that she was just more frustrated. She was more uncomfortable after a while. She was trying. She was like, hey, ma'am, I'm trying to help you, but, I need you to calm down. And she was like, you need to do. And they were just like, it was crazy. But at the end of the day, this is about Richard Sherman, man. And it's sad to see that it's result to this. You don't know what he's dealing with. You don't know what he's going through. We see so many NFL players, man, when it comes to mental health issues and, the devotion to alcohol or drugs to heal their issues and their pain and that they're dealing with. And it could be some of that things that got to do with a lot of the NFL players be doing with the concussion stuff, the stuff with the brain and how it don't function like it used to because of all that traumatic contact that you're doing playing football, the collision between the head. And so it don't seem like he's in the right space right now. To say you're going to hang yourself, to say you want to commit suicide, like it don't seem like you're in the right space. Walking around with a gun. See, Richard Sherman gets the benefit of being Richard Sherman. Because if it was a regular black man, he probably would have died the other night.
Oh yeah, oh definitely. Because I mean,
it would have been bad.
In the call, she, the wife basically said, like, look, this is Richard Sherman. Please don't shoot. You feel me? And I mean, it's unfortunate that a disclaimer like that has to be put in the call. You feel me? And so, I'm, we wasn't there and we don't really see what happened with the police thing, but I'm guessing the police did approach the situation, understanding who that was, and decide to go different ways with force. I applaud the police for that, honestly, because I mean they didn't have to do that. I'm a big proponent of, when the police show up, follow the rules, do what they need to do. But when you start resisting arrest, that's a whole nother separate issue. And, like, yeah, you unarmed, but they're trying to apprehend you because they've been called out, and so you have to comply. I mean, I understand. And again, he was, from what the wife said, he had finished 2 different alcohol bottles and he was mixing dark with light. So you already know when you start get the mixing, water get too cold, bro.
Yeah.
Get too cold. So
right.
I'm happy that everything is getting resolved. The reason why it's called a domestic violence thing is not because he did any harm to anybody, but he tried to break into a relative's house, and because he broke into the relative house because he knows them, and because he used force to get in or something like that, is why it's called that. So we got to make sure all the facts is he didn't harm anybody, he didn't put his hands on his wife or beat up any kids or anything like that. It's just the name of the beast is just because of what transpired. But like you said, man, I hope Richard get the help that he needs.
Right.
Because, I mean, me following his career over the last 11 years, I believe, this is totally out of character. Like, he's been one of the most stand-up pro athletes, pro everything. He's one of the few athletes that negotiate his own contract. So the man in his brain is brilliant. He coming from Dominguez, going to Stanford. He is like that prototypical story that, as African-American kids that come from the struggle can really look to and look up to. Right. So, to me, it is a mistake. And because his character is so high, I'm going to just leave it at that and just hope that nothing else comes from this this from him.
Yeah, I'm praying for him. Hope he get the help he needs, man. Like I said, it was shocking to even hear about it. But you can tell that he's not in the right space. It could be possibly realizing that his football career could be coming to an end or whatever the case may be, because he's no longer on the football team at this moment. And this is not going to help his chances on getting on the team right now. So I'm just praying for the brother. Hope he get the help he needs and the support he needs. And maybe he can get back out there and play a couple of more years in the game that he loves, man. But moving on to Game 4, pivotal Game 4. And I got to say, I had it right until
you let Jay get in your feelings, man. You let Jay get
No. I had Game 4 went exactly how I predicted. And it just, when it came down to some pivotal moments, and Chris Paul didn't bring it yesterday. He had probably the worst game of his career at the worst time of his career when your other guy is going for 40, Devin Booker's going for 40, and he's got it going offensively. You got to be there to help him. I get it. He wasn't there a few times when you was balling, but you got to be there to show him that, hey, I got your back, young blood. We going to get this together. And he wasn't able to do that yesterday, and it happens. He turned the ball over a few times in pivotal moments to put the game away. He turned the ball over, and it was so out of character because we know Chris Paul don't turn the ball over, but he didn't have his best game.
He
didn't have his best game.
Yeah, right now, bro, Chris Paul has more turnovers in the last 3 games than he had turnovers in the last 2 series combined.
Yeah.
And they are, you're looking at it as is it the Drew Holiday effect? Because I feel like Game 2 is where they switched Drew Holiday on him. And, instead of the whole PJ Tucker experience that they tried in Game 1, which failed miserably. And he's been turning the ball over. It's seeing Chris Paul turn the ball over is like, what? Chris Paul? He ain't no. And 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 half the time, and we talk about this too, Bake, we discussed this before. Turnovers are you have to take them for when they happen.
Yeah.
Certain turnovers, man, a turnover first 2 minutes of a game is like, all right. But for him to have 2 turnovers in the last minute,
yeah, pivotal
turnovers is what separates it. So you look at a box score and you see 5 turnovers, you're like, yeah, that's bad. But then when you really dive deep and you see when the last 2 happen, it's like, bro, that's not good. And so, that's just what that was. But you have to also, I'm going to give the man his credit because he had a good game. But we all know Chris Middleton's inconsistent. So Chris Middleton had a 40-piece, right? Yeah. 40-piece, balled out, did what he hit, I think he scored the last 10 points for the Milwaukee Bucks to seal the deal and help win that game.
Mm-hmm.
But if he can't string together performances, then this 40-piece is just like, all right, it's Chris Middleton. So I'm curious to see if he's going to string together performances. I was happy to see D-Book do better. But the Bucks should be worried. I feel like the Bucks should be worried because that's kind of the best game you're going to get out of Chris Middleton. Giannis didn't have a crazy game, but when you really look at the game, he just affected the game the Giannis way. He didn't really settle. He wasn't as aggressive, but he wasn't settling. You got to give Bake his credit because what did they do? They built the wall. That's what Bake talked about. And he said, Bake said it, that the Phoenix Suns are going to build the wall. They built the wall, kind of flustered Giannis a little bit, but he was making the right passes. Players was knocking down shots. But again, Milwaukee, they do this at home. They knock down shots at home. This is what they do. And so I'm very interested to see how Game 5 is going to go. And yeah, man, shout out to the Bucks, man. Right now, I'm looking good in my prediction. I'm gonna stand by mine since Bake wanted to amend his.
Yeah, man.
And, yeah, and
I had it right.
Yeah, I mean, you listen. You was right there. But Chris Paul, man, your boy.
Yeah, he let me down.
You've been one of the biggest Chris Paul supporters. If anybody's ever seen Bake play, the games are similar in how you control the court back in your heyday. Similar to how your leadership style is. And again, man, just watching Chris Paul have them uncharacteristic turnovers and then him being man enough to take that game on the chin and saying it's his fault. Yeah. So when he does that, I'm expecting close to a 40-piece come Saturday night. So I would, if I'm Milwaukee, I'll beware.
I'll definitely beware. I think they're going to go home and they're going to run them crazy. And Phoenix, my thing was, like I said, the Bucks got away with one. They got away with one. They shouldn't have lost. I mean, they shouldn't have won that game. They gave it I would say Giannis' block was a pivotal piece in that game because it could have been put away. It was like the Suns had one moment, one chance to put the game away, and they didn't do it. Every time they had that one, even when the Bucks missed, they came down on the possession and they couldn't put them away, man. But it happens. It happens. I think they know how to beat the Bucks now, and I think it's going to be over in 6. I think they will end up beating the Bucks in Milwaukee. I think they're going to blow them out Game 5, and then they're going to go to Milwaukee and put it over with. And it's not going to go to 7. I think it's going to get it done because they know how to beat the Bucks now. They make Giannis a defer. They make him pass the ball. They make get the ball out of his hands and let everybody else beat you. Like I said, Drew Holiday didn't show up. They was lucky. They was lucky. Middleton was not middle not. Okay. And so nobody else was doing anything besides Middleton and, some pivotal points from some other role players. And then Giannis got it going late. But hey, you can't expect Middleton to keep showing up like that. That's just not his game. It's like they do for one. They always do for one. And so that the Phoenix Suns is about to become ready to play, man. But anyway, we'll see how Game 5 goes on Saturday. But the U.S. Olympic team, man, they was able to turn it around, and they got a nice little 20-point win against Argentina. But there is some drama. There is some issues. Our man Bradley Beal is on the 14-day protocol, and he may not even go to Tokyo. How you feel about that, dog?
That can get a little dicey. That can get a little dicey. I mean, they say they got replacements and everything on hand because they got to have that on hand because of D-Book, Drew, and Middleton, who's currently in the finals. So it get a little dicey, chap. It get a little dicey. I was happy to see them play better. One of the biggest things I pointed out was their defensive intensity, which did pick up against Argentina. Man, people's out there guarding, sliding their feet. It's still a lot of too much one-on-one ISO ball, but the ball was moving a little bit better. To me, I think their starting five can be tall and athletic plus defensive minded. So me personally, I would start Bam, Draymond, KD, Tatum, Lillard. I would go with that lineup. And then, and rotate like that because you got Kevin Love anyway, and he's going to play. And so let him be the first big off the bench, and whether it's Bam first or Draymond, however you want to do that, because Draymond brings that defensive intensity. And I feel like you need him to start the game instead of having him come be the engine off the bench. I feel like you bring Brad Beal, you got Zach LaVine that can come off and get you some buckets. So you won't be hurting there. You also have Drew and Middleton and Book. So you won't have to search for points, but you need to search for defense. And so with Tatum and Green and Bam and KD, I feel like that gives you a lot of defensive versatility. Y'all can switch everything 1 through 5. Dame kind of being an outlier, being the small guard, but you got a lot of size out there, and everybody kind of complements each other, and the games won't clash too much. So, I like what I saw from USA. They got a couple of more exhibitions coming up. They get Australia again, to run that back. And so, like I said, they got to gear up and continue to hone in and get better as a team overall.
Right. I think it'll take time. Like I said, I'm not going to panic, not going to worry. It's going to take some time. What I do notice about the European players and the teams is that they're a lot more physical.
And the refs too. The refs don't be calling all that
they don't call
touchy stuff.
They don't call that. And they do take advantage of mismatches, right? And so a lot of times they put in the pick and roll and they get the ball and they take advantage of my man D Lillard and his side. They put him in that post and say, you're going to get this barbecue chicken European style. And so it's different. It's definitely different. I think they just got to adjust. And we don't know. We don't know how the refs is going to be when the Tokyo games go. We don't know if they're going to be ticky-tack. We don't know if they're going to let them play. We don't know. But at the end of the day, they just got to work together as a unit. They got to improve as a team. They got to continue to play the game. And they have the skill. They have the players. They have the depth. They have the players that can get you 30, 40, and even 50. God dang it. So they got bench players that's going to come and give you a nice little resurgence off the bench. And then they got 3 freaking all-star players coming in that's going to do some things defensively and offensively as well too. So the U.S. team is going to be just fine. I'm not worried about it. I'll get worried if they start losing when Tokyo games start. Then I'll start tripping. But right now, I'm not tripping. But let's get my man Hot Take up in the building, man. See how he feel about all this news that we've been talking about. What up, baby Jack? What's up, man? There he is.
Yeah, give me a second here, fellas.
There he is. What you got to say, Jack?
Chilling, man.
What you got to say?
Are you at the job, huh?
Yeah, we at the JOB today, man. Oh, he got the orange on today.
Oh, look at it.
Yo, hey, you know what? Hottakejay is a low-key Phoenix Suns fan. You know that, right?
Yeah, right. Nobody know Phoenix Suns fan, man. You know what I'm saying?
So Hot Take, man, we got lots to talk about, man. A lot of things to talk about. Let's talk about Game 4, man. I know you excited because your Patty decided to show up. Your Patty decided to actually be on the plate and to be the main course yesterday. Devin Booker went off of dang near 40 points, and he couldn't miss nothing. It didn't matter if the hole was this small. The boy could got it in there. So how you feel about Game 5 and the Bucks able to pull it off?
I mean, really, Game 5?
Game 4. Game 4.
Okay.
Game 4.
Game 4 happened exactly as I expected it to. I mean, I don't know if y'all recall, I said Suns was going to go up 2-0. I said the Bucks is going to get their sea legs and get right. and now we're sitting here 2-2. I mean, surprise? No, it's going as planned. Oh,
Wow. I can't believe you said that.
That's reasons. Did I not say it? I said, said Suns 2-0.
Yep.
And then
because I believe I went 6. He said Bucks in 7. And so he basically went the home thing. And then he got the Bucks winning in Phoenix. So technically,
I mean, I'll do you one better, man. Let me run down the list. I said, how good is Ayton really? That is a big variable. I mean, 17 rebounds, but 6 points. Like, how good is Ayton? That's what I was getting at. He getting in foul trouble. I said CP3 ain't going to have a game like that again the rest of the series, maybe one more. What has he done since then? It's gotten worse. 23 points, then 19, then 16. 6 turnovers. What does CP3? We never see him with this many turnovers. Well, how about Drew Holiday? Give him some credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Middleton was due. I said that yesterday too. Didn't I say that? Reasons. Tell me I said it. I know I'm not hearing things.
You said it.
I did. Yeah. So how do I feel about it? It happened what was supposed to happen.
Man,
light-skinned brethren showed up.
like I said, man.
Coalition.
Phoenix gave Milwaukee the greatest gift they can give them. They gave them life. That's what they did. That game shouldn't have been that close.
It shouldn't have been.
They had the game. They dominated the game, the majority of the game, and to the last 4 minutes, they allowed it to happen.
Who's culpable here?
What you mean?
Who is the reason for what had happened yesterday?
Oh, you want him to say it out loud.
I want to.
He got to hear it. He got to hear it.
Go ahead, man.
I'm going to say Chris Paul had some pivotal turnovers. He did. He didn't play his best game. He didn't have his best game. I'm not going to sit up there and lie to you. But where was Devin Booker at when Chris Paul was having them games? That's the question.
It's the chicken or the egg. Whose fault is it?
Devin Booker just decided to show up today. Yeah. I guess to show him up, you got to sit him on the bench. Okay, that's probably what you got to do. Sit him on the bench, get him mad like a little kid, so then when he get back in the game, he can go produce like he can.
You got to challenge his pride, man. His pride was challenged. He responded. He played very well. But you're right. And there's a middle ground here. A month ago, everybody wanted to anoint him. Then you want to bag on him for having some down games. This is what becoming a champion actually looks like, right? That first journey to the top of the mountain has the adversity. And the only real thing I have to draw on, I'm just a regular nobody. But when I watch the Warriors do it, I watched them, especially being a perimeter shooting team. It was hard to put somebody down. And watching them, it's hard to put somebody down when you're supposed to win, when you're shooting jumpers, and all of a sudden you get to this moment to seal the deal, and all of a sudden cheeks get tight. I mean, I thought I said it, but, it's happening.
It is what it is, man. But I was right. They walled the crap up, and Giannis went to defer Giannis. Giannis wasn't aggressive, and then he ended up asserting himself in the last 5 minutes of the game. He started to get active in the last 5 minutes. But
what was that movie where you totally redeem yourself? What movie was that? I forgot which movie that was from. But with that block, he finally it was like, okay, this is what I was counting on. At least you held it down at the end, and
that was a LeBron block. That was a series changing block. It ain't. I don't know if it's gonna win the series, but hey, man, I like it. It's 2-2. It still goes back to what I said at first. I said that both teams will win at home. I said that, but after yesterday, I felt like Phoenix should have won Game 4, and they should have won Game 4. They just didn't do it. They should have had that game in the bag, and we should be talking 3-1. Phoenix going home, putting them away in Phoenix. But
CP3 is 100% responsible. Just putting that out there.
Okay. Anyway, man, let's talk about the Richard Sherman thing, man. How do you feel about the Richard Sherman? Do you think something's wrong with Richard Sherman mentally?
Ooh, that's a hard thing. I know no background other than just what happened. All I can say is that when he lit Skip Bayless on fire like 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, whenever it was the Legion of Boom, he was so articulate, and he was so like I'm just gonna pound Skip Bayless on every point. And I was like, Richard Sherman, Stanford, man, he gets it, right? And only because I'm pushing 40 and I've been through my bouts of like mental, like getting your mental right, do I know that I can only empathize and you know what he's going through, right? The league don't want you no more, right? And you know, you trying to find your way. And if your foundation is shook, man, you and your wife, and then you bring in substance abuse or whatever the case may be, it's easy to just look bad for 24 hours. And now everybody's just besmirching your name. So, you know, and females can get you caught up. So it's a sad story. I'm just, you know, hoping it's a reality check and a wake up call for him. I'm not the one to tarnish somebody's bad name. Like, you know, 20 years of, you know, identifying yourself who you are to be thrown away in one day. So, you know, I'm hoping it gets right. You know, 2 bottles of Henny though. 2?
No, it was Henny and some
vodka.
So he had, you know, and I told Bake, we all know once you get the mixing, hey, listen, man, it ain't a good mix. And Jay, I agree 1,000% with you. I feel like over the years of watching Richard Sherman, we know the kind of man he stands for, the charity work he does back in the city of LA, things he does in Seattle or did in Seattle. Who he is as a man has always been stand up, and you feel me. And then you know, like I said, I'm a huge Kobe fan, and when Kobe starts to really endorse you, you know that means something, because Kobe ain't the type just to like everybody, because that's just not how Kobe operated. So you feel me? It was just one of those things where, you know, he had a bad night, and you know, me and Bake discussed just he should be glad that he's Richard Sherman, because the way he acted with the authorities, that could have been turned out even worse. You know, once you start resisting arrest and they got to bring out the canines for you, things to get bad. So I'm just happy that he's getting back.
There's just a moment when you start drinking. Most of the time, it's like, look, man, the keys is done. I'm in the crib or wherever. And I mean, you can make some exceptions, you know, going out of town, going to Vegas, whatever. But there's a conscious choice when you start drinking. Like, where am I going with this? And if you already got the bad vibes with the wife and you are ready to light somebody on fire, like, you know, the conscious choice was made, you know, beforehand. So, you know, but hey, man, I'm hoping he gets right. And, you know, everybody just needs a wake up call. He's just going through that midlife crisis. I know him, you know, facing retirement has something to do with it. I don't know nothing about nothing. I just know that you're in a transition period of your life, and it's not hard to figure out what some of the ingredients are.
No, I definitely would say something ain't right. Mentally, he's probably, you know, a lot going in his head. If this is the end of his career or this is the end of him playing football, you know, that transition is always tough. And then, like I was telling Reasons, man, when you play this game for 11 seasons, man, you see it time and time again, the brutal, you know, reaction to the trauma of playing tackle football, force hitting people with your head, and how sometimes you may think somebody is all the way good, but really they're dealing with a lot of trauma, a lot of issues, a lot of things mentally, and they're not all the way there, right? They can have those fly-by nights, you know, like the Junior Seau's, a great standby guy, you know, a great staple, a great model of the NFL. You don't think nothing wrong, and then you get to hear the story after the fact, you're like, dang, Junior was dealing with all that? You get what I'm saying? Because you never see everything that they're dealing with behind the scenes, man. Like, anybody can show you what they're looking like on camera, but what you really dealing with behind the scenes, bro. And so that's why I said I'm praying for him. I hope he get the help he needs, because I know with this game, man, it does a lot to you long term the longer you play. And that's the crazy part about the NFL, man.
Yeah, I agree. When you got people in your circle, you just got to listen. Like, when they're giving you signs, like, you gotta reciprocate, because it's when something like that happens, it started weeks, months before, and you just got to really like pay attention to people in your circle when they acting, trending different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You gotta be there for your people, Jay, because like you said, man, once you get to drinking, you know why you there. And you know, for him to have to go try to break into the in-laws' house, and like the story is just random. And so, yeah, you made a great point. Just we all know, man. We either half the time you either drinking because you socially hanging out, partying, and you having fun, but half the time you get to drinking at the crib. You got it. You got mental intention, and people. That's where this story gets a little like, wow, like what's up, Richard? So like, man, we hope for the best for a person that has shown nothing but positive character traits.
Facts.
And maybe this just just a bump in the road, man. We human, we make mistakes, and we just got.
Oh, that chick gotta go though. Oh my God, that
his wife.
How did you get? No, the dispatcher.
Oh,
dude, what? Who hired you, man? Who raised you? Like, there's you know what I noticed too, dealing with people. There's just people in an authoritative position who haven't worked out their internal thing with pride and ego. Like, there's a difference between being in a position of authority or trying to take control or be assertive on a call like that, where you're supposed to help and empathize and redirect them. But that chick was like her ego got in the way of being a 911 dispatcher. Like, dude, fire you. You got to go.
No, I would say this. Look, I know people probably going to come for that lady, but you got to understand her point of view as well, too, man. She was trying to be as calm as possible, but, Richard Sherman's wife didn't do a good job of trying to calm the situation. Or she was trying to eat, like the goal when you counsel somebody and you're trying to get them to calm down. Hey, I'm trying to help you. What's going on? I need to know the facts. I need to know the details. So when I get the people out there, we can get you the proper help. But you cussing at me, you yelling at me, you telling me all this and all that. I can't do my job at the end of the day.
You're right. But can you tell me you didn't feel those hostile, like I'm checking you, I'm in charge vibes from her? Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I felt like she got that to the point where it crossed over for her. Like, all right, God dang it. Look, you don't want no help, then you do what you need to do, because you seen it. She's like, ma'am, just relax. Tell me what's going on. What is going on? Is anybody hurt? She like, he's fighting people. He's trying to leave. Call somebody. You need to get here right now. Okay, ma'am. And you heard that. And then after a while, it just transformed and said, you know what? Oh, do what you want to do. Okay, do what you want to do.
But in this profession, like, you can't have that moment. Like,
exactly.
It's just one of those things that we talk about it, just like with police officers, and we get on them like, when this is your profession,
exactly,
you can't be bad at your job. That's like,
you don't get the ability to exude irritability as a 911 dispatcher. Your moment of shine is for 3 minutes. Do your job. 3 minutes.
I hear y'all. I hear you. It's like being a waiter at a table.
Yeah.
You try and do the best you can to keep this customer from coming at you crazy. But again, we don't know what people are dealing with.
You human.
We don't know what they're dealing with. We don't know her internal biases that she have. We don't know.
How she don't know who Richard Sherman is living in Washington.
What I'm saying. But she was trying to help the wife. The wife was coming at her crazy, cussing at her crazy. So at the end of the day, like, you got to understand, you're a human being. Like, you have a limitation too. So if somebody's coming at me like, yo, you get your do and woo and what the you need to get somebody out here right now. Bro, if somebody get killed, I swear, bro. Like, bro, I'm trying to help you, bro. I'm trying to help you, bro. Like, I know how it is when you got your friend who's drunk and belligerent and acting crazy, and you trying to help them and they ain't listening. And you trying to calm them down, and they still go crazy. You be like, well, F it. Just do what you want to do, bro.
Yeah, that's cool when you chilling, when it's social, when it's whatever. But when you got your professional hat on, that's still.
I get it.
Look, I just feel like both of them was in like a tough spot, because as the wife, you can hear her still trying to calm him down while trying to get help. So like I said, I don't think her intentions to the dispatch lady was to come off as it was.
She's trying to play both sides right now. Like, that was a tough spot she was in.
And because she just trying to make sure to get help, because she don't want things to escalate. So, and so that's why I said it was just a bad situation. But I'm with Jay as a 911 dispatch person, because me, I watched that show 911 on Fox, and man, every time they call in, these people are some of the most calm,
That's edits, though. A lot of that stuff is edits, man.
I understand, but I'm just saying that is supposed to speak real life. But I also watched the show 911, where it's real life. And those people are usually calm and very, like, you just got to.
But it's still edit, man.
Okay, so if you're a public bus driver, and you got road rage, like, how does that work? Right? You can't be a therapist and lose your cool. You know what I'm saying?
You know, at the end of the day, you can. There's points where, as a therapist, you're like, look, you know what? I think we need to end this session because we're not. No. I'm telling you the truth. I'm being 1000% because.
But you can't do that as a 911 dispatcher.
No. She didn't end the call. Yeah. She got the help she needed, and she said, you know what, ma'am, it's okay. She even told her, like, look, cussing at me, it's not going to make anything better. Like, you coming at me like I'm the problem. I'm trying to help you. Yeah. If I'm trying to help you, don't keep coming at me like I'm the reason why you in the situation you're in now. I'm not saying how she did it was the best way, but you got to understand, like, you can't disrespect that person who's trying to get you the help you need. At the end of the day, the better you are at explaining what's going on, the better she can get that information out there. But cussing at her, disrespecting her, and doing that, that's not going to get anything done. You're still
asking somebody in Richard Sherman's wife's vantage point to stay composed, and you're asking her what I think is unfair from her vantage point.
No.
When you see red, you see red. You know.
No, but see the red. See, the thing is that she knew what her vantage point was, and she was trying to calm her down to say, look, ma'am, let me know what's going on. Does he have a gun? Has he been beaten? Anybody hurt? Like, let me know so I can let the officers know what they're getting themselves into. That's what she was trying to do. Richard Sherman's wife was still wilding. I get it. She's in the heat of it. She's like, oh my God, I don't want nobody to die or whatever the case may be. But she's like, hey, let me know. I need the details. The more details I got, the more I could tell the dispatch, all right, this is what it is. It's Richard Sherman. He's a football player. He's been drinking. He's got a weapon. Please do not shoot. Try to approach the situation with caution and whatever. But if you coming at me crazy and you still coming at me crazy, at a point in time, she never like cussed at the lady. She just, whatever, ma'am. It is what it is. You know better than me. You know more than me. Do your thing. The officers got what they need. You have a good day. And hung up the phone. But I think it's a little bit on both. She could have did a better job of trying to keep her composure. But we're human, man. If somebody keep cussing at you and you working at your job, that's crazy.
A little bit. So it happens. Both people got to be better. That's a holler.
Definitely. Imagine calling like a T-Mobile about your phone bill and they trying to help you. And even when they trying to help you, you cussing them out. Eventually that person on that phone gonna be like, you know what? I don't. And then especially if they the manager or the supervisor, it's going to be 10 times worse. They're going to be like, look, I'm the manager, man. What's up? Yeah. Well, we tried to help you. We tried to help you. All right, man. Well, you have a good day. You know what I mean? They're going to end that phone call real quick, fast, in a hurry. So you got to be mindful of the situation too. And when you act with calm, even in the heat of the situation, coming from a counselor point of view, it helps deflate so much. If you see red and you act in red, it's going to hurt the people who's trying to give you the green to help out.
Yeah, that's that you talking about next level composure, and she's weighing Richard Sherman's life as he's, on one, and asking for that kind of composure from her. I feel like it people who are accomplished and who have that are good, but to people who don't have that and are just reacting, it's hard to expect that from her. And that's part of a 911 job description. But we'll go in circles and we talk about that.
Like I said, both parties was in the both parties could have did a little bit better. I get what you're saying that Richard Sherman's wife ain't accustomed to that. It was the first time seeing something like that. Probably, I definitely understand, but I'm not gonna not take her and give her none of that blame, because there's people who see things for the first time and they act and they probably never seen in their life, but they act with calmness. The calmness is the key to getting the help you need at the end of the day. Acting wild and crazy is not gonna help. You gotta I know it sucks. Whatever you're going through, you got to be able to try to maintain that composure, because if two people were flustered,
yeah, you ain't getting nothing done. Ain't nothing good coming out of it.
ain't nothing good coming out of it. Somebody's got to be the logical one to be like, breathe, breathe, breathe. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you can't control what you can't control. But it is what it is, man. Anyways, going into the Olympics, man. The Olympics bounced back. We ended up getting a nice little 20-piece on Argentina. But my man Bradley Beal may not even make the Olympic journey because he's on 14-day protocol. So how do you feel about the Olympic team, man? Like I said, I'm not worried about the Olympic thing. I'm going to let the Olympics men's basketball team do what they need to do. They'll be okay. But how do you feel about them bouncing back?
I don't think it's much to see here. I think that they had the wake up call that they was going to have, and missing Brad Beal, like, it's not a talent deficit here. So somebody else picks up a little bit of the slack. They just need to manufacture some of that dog, that patriotism, and just gel as quickly as possible. And so as they work that out and they hit gear, when does it start here? In a couple of days, a week, or whatever?
A couple of weeks.
26.
Yeah,
Right?
26.
Yeah. So I really don't, because it's they want it, and when you got players like KD and Dame and Draymond, like, that's enough for me right there. So
I think it's the jerseys. I'm not feeling these jerseys at all. Like, Nike, USA could have been better with these jerseys. But like, ever since the 08-12 team, the jerseys have just dipped. You know, you look good, feel good, play good.
Yeah.
But other than that, Jay, I have brought to the attention that I think the starting five should be Bam, Draymond, KD, Tatum, Lillard. I think that gives them length and versatility defensively. That also gives them that, with Draymond kind of being the table setter, because that's the role he plays in Golden State, and he brings that defensive intensity. They need a coach out there on defense. I don't think Bam has worked himself into that just yet as a defensive floor guy that controls everything in front of him. He's a good defensive help, but I don't think he's developed that for them, because he has Jimmy Butler who does that, basically. So I think if you start Draymond, you'll come out with the right intensity. Because as much as I get on Draymond's game at times, I know what he brings to a team like this is valuable. Because you don't need him to score, you just need him to lead. And if he can just manifest his leadership qualities and run the one or that point forward thing how he does it, I think that'd be better than him coming off the bench having to recreate energy when he can start the energy off.
Yeah, I agree, and I've seen Draymond Green be successful with your Kevon Looney's, your Andrew Bogut's, your JaVale McGee's. Like, he, 90% of the way that stretch center is not really an issue. So him playing with Bam, I think Bam is a prerequisite. Bam is the only one with the combination of athletic ability, willingness to do the dirt for them to set the tone in the beginning of the game. So yeah, Dre and Bam doing that dirt frees up, KD, Dame, Tatum, do what they do. So it works. They're gonna figure it out. That's just too much talent and too many smart people to not figure it out. That's enough said.
That's that pride that you talked about, Jay. I feel like that pride has to kick in at some point.
It is. Oh, it is. You take 2 L's, and I know what Draymond is made of, bro. I know what he's made of, and I know what Dame is made of. So, like I said, and Popovich, and who else is out there? Is Kerr out there too?
Yeah, Pop, Kerr,
KD. They're going to be all right. They're going to be just fine. Don't panic, but it's news at the end of the day. How we got Game 5, man? Game 5, bro, I don't like that these games are so far apart, man. I feel like they take it too dang long, bro.
They are.
Man, I like it, man.
Game 5.
You got to travel from Milwaukee.
Man, they didn't have 3 days off, and now they got another 2 days off. Come on,
and then they get another 2 days off.
This is crazy.
Give CP3 a lot of time to think about his dookie play.
So the way I looked at it, CP was like that free water. You feel me? When you go, he wasn't no Patty, he wasn't no Bud, he was free water. Like, let me get a cup of water with that. That's what. Yeah,
he was. It's all good.
Did you see Bake got a little heated there? I felt a little heat through the text.
That
crusty McDonald's patty.
I wasn't mad at that. I was just saying, like, hey, man, y'all harping on my man for having a bad game, man. Where was Devin Booker for the last 3 games? Where was he at?
Let me give some takeaways, man. I think, well, one, Brook was minus 13. Everybody else in the plus minus killing, but Brook Lopez. I don't understand what this Giannis subbing out after 3 minutes. And then I'm looking at him like, when you see a boxer and he just don't want it. That's what Giannis looked like to me the whole game. Now his numbers look fine, and they was switching up the scheme, but there was a tenacity that he's had the last couple of games that he did not have. And so if they lose because he doesn't bring that, I'm on his ass. Like I'm calling him out. But he was able to. He's so athletically gifted. His numbers, he backs into those, and that superstar block just saved the whole thing. It just put it all in its place. So like, ain't nobody saying nothing, But Devin Booker, bro, like, what is your foul awareness, man? What are you doing? It's just I'm expecting the Bucks to close this one out from here on. But
wow, I'm gonna go and say they about to go and get what them little deers when the deer get the deers when they see a car about to come and
deer in headlights.
Yes, they about to get ran crazy. Okay, they about to go in Phoenix.
Don't take your boy to Vegas.
And it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. 15-point plus win. Chris Paul is not gonna have that game again. Now Devin Booker, on the other hand, I don't know. I don't know what game you're gonna get from Devin Booker, but I know what game we're gonna get for Chris Paul. The last time Chris Paul had a bad game, he came back and dropped 40 and sent the Clippers.
I do believe there's a point where your cheeks ain't tight no more. You're just a dog cornered, in a corner, just throwing out haymakers. And I do expect a strong performance from CP3. I just don't think it's going to be enough.
Hey, look at this, man. Milwaukee Buck, Joe Buck, Nuck if you Buck. Sons and Six.
A crime mob.
You feel me? That's how I look at it. Sons and Six. Chris Paul bounces back. I say Chris Paul goes for 30 and 8. D Book pitches in with 27. Aiden gets back to double-double. Aiden 15 and 15. Suns win by 9.
So as stinky as Drew has been, his defense has been equally the opposite, A+.
Yes.
And so if my personal, knowing that Chris Paul's coming out back against the wall swinging, I'm sicking Drew on him. Stay with him until it's halftime and he's all the way cold.
Nah, Chris Paul about to come very aggressive. He's going to be ready to go, and they're going to get that done, man. It is what it is. The Bucks had 2 good games. They got, like I said, they got life. The Phoenix gave them life in Game 4 because they was down bad. It was rough. And Drew Holiday almost cost him the game.
He did.
Taking a mid-range, no, dang well you ain't been shooting good. And you shoot that shot and you lucky. You so lucky Giannis saved your life. Giannis saved your life. He saved your life.
He's been so bad on offense.
Because it was about to be a straight roast session for your dog.
It's been a holiday for Drew. He's been giving out presents to other teams the way he's been playing.
Yes, he sure have, man. But we're gonna definitely see it. I definitely see Phoenix bouncing back at home. They play really well at home, and I think it's gonna be a good back and forth game. And then they end up beating them by 15. I just feel like they're gonna come in and do what they need to do, and then they're gonna go in Milwaukee and they're gonna win because I think Milwaukee's gonna get tight. I think they're gonna get tight. Playing at home, they're gonna get tight. They're gonna be pressing. What I saw in Game 4 was potentially what Milwaukee's gonna be in Game 6. Tight. Basketball shots not going in.
It was tight.
And people being a little bit nervous, being a little bit timid because they thought they probably was going to come out and run the Phoenix, and Phoenix was controlling that game and dominating that game from start, and they just gave it up in the last 4 minutes. So I know Milwaukee's like, we got away with one. And so we're going to find out. Game 5, I got Phoenix. But y'all have a great weekend. Y'all take care of yourself. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe. Always remember to talk that talk. We'll see y'all soon.